You're muted, but he's here. Commissioner Williams?
There you go. Here, I'm sorry.
That was
Commissioner Williams?
Commissioner Williams is showing, but she's muted. And then Commissioner Roach.
Okay. For the record, we have a quorum. We'll start with the acceptance of the minutes of the regular board meeting held on December 16th. Unless there's any questions or comments, I entertain a motion to accept those minutes.
So moved.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Next item, acceptance of the minutes of the special board meeting from December 22nd. I'll entertain the same motion.
So moved.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we'll move on to reports. First, we have the chief of police. Chief, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here. I just dropped all my stuff. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Alrighty. So first I'm gonna start with just a quick recap of 2025. I don't know if I've done I don't think we did the year end last month. And I'm not sure if you've seen any information that we shared regarding our end, but I'll just give you a couple of the three main categories. So just to highlight 2025, reported violent crimes were down by nearly 37.5%. Reported property crimes were down 24%, and our shooting incidents were down 30%. So as you can see, we had significant drops in crime. Might have jinxed us a little bit because we've started off a little bit, but just a quick highlight of some of the categories. So our murders, manslaughters were down 66%. Our sex assaults were down 35%. Our robberies were down 46%, and our aggravated assaults were down 28% for a total of 37.5%. Just a quick highlight too, the crimes that most of our citizens are affected by are property crimes. Our burglaries down by nearly 29.5%. Our grand larcenies were down nearly 11.5%. Our motor vehicle thefts were down 25%. For a total of property crimes down, total of 24% as well. So also our shot spotter detections were also down this time compared to last year. I'm sorry, 2025 compared to 2024. We're in 2026 now. So that's just a little snapshot of where we are in terms of crime from last year. Our motor vehicle enforcement, which has been a priority for 2025, was up considerably compared to 2024. Let me see here. Yeah, considerably. So traffic citations, and I can't see, but our traffic citations were up for significant amounts in 2025 compared to 2024, as well as our motor vehicle stops. The number of arrests were basically steady. There was basically the same amount versus last year from 2024 versus 2025. Our staffing, so we say we're at 330, but we've lost a few people in the last couple of weeks since this report was done. So we're probably hovering between 325 and 330. That's counting the class that graduates Thursday. I'll touch on that in a bit. So you see, we continue to grow the department, and we need to continue to grow the department because we continue to have manpower issues as well. Because as quick as we bring them, we are still losing some here or there, not at the numbers and the rates that we were losing people a couple of years ago. Just to start the year off, our crime stats. So unfortunately, we have had a couple of shooting incidents. We've had one homicide thus far this year, and we've had a couple of shootings this year already. Most notably the homicide, and as well this past weekend, we had a shooting downtown. The shooting downtown was isolated to individuals who were attending a repast. There had been a funeral, a burial, and then a repast. This was the person who was the tragically the victim of a homicide. So, but that incident began inside, and it was isolated to the individuals who were involved in that situation. So, but just to highlight, our numbers are basically the same as they were this time last year. Obviously, when I get the reports for tomorrow, we may be slightly ahead in the number of shots fired. But we are basically running the same as we were this time last year. And obviously it's early in the year, but we are running less than we were last year, but basically the same. Couple of things I want to highlight was we have the graduation for our recruits will be Thursday night. I believe you all received an invitation. If you have not, please let me know, and we'll make sure we get an invitation to you. So the graduation is going to be Thursday night at the University of Bridgeport. It's going to be at 6 o'clock. Doors open at 5 o'clock. It's Mertens Theater, 84 Raniston Avenue on the UB campus. So please, if you can come, try to attend. It's our 48th basic recruit training class that'll be graduating on Thursday. There's 26 from Bridgeport that are going to be graduating, and there's another 5 that are from other departments, being Trumbull and Newtown. So it'll be a total of 31 individuals graduating, and 26 of those will be Bridgeport. We do have 3 additional Bridgeport recruits that are attending the Milford Academy, and they are a couple of months behind this class. So we'll be bringing those on in the coming months as well. We are still seeing interest from lateral transfers. I have a meeting next week with one lateral transfer from, I won't say the city, but we still see a good number of individuals who want to come to Bridgeport on as lateral hires as well. So we're doing good in that front. But please, if you can come, please come and share that with us. We've promised to try to make the graduation quicker than it's been in the past, but that still remains to be seen. Couple of highlights for 2026 that we're focusing on. So one of the things that I've talked about early in one of my Facebook Lives is we want to create for 2026. We want to focus on young people and get them involved. So we're trying to create a youth advisory council. It'll be made up of 20 to 25 young adults from the ages of 14 to 22. We've reached out to various high schools and other organizations to solicit interest to be a part of our youth advisory council. And what that council will do is kind of serve as, if you've been around for a while, I think Commissioner Roach will probably remember, some years ago we had a young adult police commissioners. So it'll be somewhat similar to that, where they will advise us on policy, how we police, different things that's taking place in the community, as well as serve as ambassadors to attend programs with us and events. So we're looking to do that. They'll be meeting with me once a month. So we want to have that in place by the summer, before the summer, because in the summer we want to have a young adult public safety forum. We have young people come in and just talk about different public safety in a variety of different manners, not only careers, but just how they can advocate and get involved in some of the processes that are going to be taking place in the future in their young lives. One of the highlights of this program too is we're hoping for 2027 to do a young adult police academy, where we will have young individuals who will go through a police academy similar to what they do in New Haven, and they'll spend some time just going over different police practices and procedures and learning different things that we go through in our police academy. So really excited about that. I want to highlight that really hard for the next 2 years. Also, we are starting another Citizens Police Academy. We're currently taking applications for that. So looking forward to anyone who's interested in being a part of that, our next Citizens Police Academy. But the department is continuing to grow. We're looking to grow technologies, grow in terms of manpower. This spring, we'll have our foot patrols out again. We want to make those more permanent. But continue to develop and grow the department and interacting with the community and community policing and community engagement. So with that, I'll take any questions that you might have.
Thanks, Chief.
Sure.
There is, and thanks for your patience, everybody. I shut my computer off, turned it back on, and like magic, it works again. In any case, when do you anticipate the next class, Chief? I know we have a graduation ceremony in a couple of days, but how far out are we before the next round of recruiting?
So we just gave the written exam, I think 2 Saturdays ago. So we had a written exam. I think I'm told 97 people passed the written exam. So we're going to be doing the backgrounds on those and trying to develop another class out of that crop of individuals. So I would say probably by the fall, late summer, early fall, we should be ready for another class. So
Okay.
that's the goal.
Very good.
Hey,
Any questions for the
I have a
chief?
quick one.
Hector?
The age on that young people, youth, not the council, the young, the youth advisory council, the age group again. Did you say till 21 or 22?
So it was 14 to 22. So because we
14.
do want to take some college age kids as well. At first we were saying 21, but we wanted to, invite young people who might be like juniors, seniors in college as well.
Now, I'd like to, my daughter, I think I'd like to get her involved maybe, but she's at school in Queens, in New York. Maybe we get something that she can come on board with you guys. I think she'd like that.
Yeah, we could. So this is a copy of the. It's on our website. It's a copy of the announcement that we sent out to the various schools. So if you call my office and speak to Ann Kubel or Sarah Maldonado, they can take her information and they can reach out and share with her. And maybe that would be good. We're looking. So right now we've got about 14 to 15 young people.
I like that. That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
We need that.
Yep, I agree.
Thank you.
Commissioner Farrow?
Yeah, Chief, I was just curious because I know you said we have a decrease in crime. Trying to get some real numbers like ShotSpotter, like the difference between last year or the year before or the prior year now, what that looks like, the murders and the property crime. Because I mean, you're saying the percentages, and I'm glad things are going down.
You want the raw numbers on the differences?
I'm just curious to see what.
Give me a second. I can read that to you. Just let me organize here.
Commissioner Roach, not to interrupt, but I believe Commissioner Lyons is on now as well.
Okay.
So, now forgive me, my eyes are not as good as they used to be. So, I usually look at this on a PowerPoint, so it's easier for me to read. But just let me. So I'll give you a comparison. So, 2024 versus. So this document was prepared on December 21st. That's when we had to have it in. So at that time, we were accounting for 4 homicides for 2025, but that number is actually 5 because we had one come in several days after that was declared a homicide by the medical examiner. So for comparison, in 2024 we had 12 murders or manslaughters versus 5 in 2025. So for sex assaults, for 2024 we had 62 reported. For 2025 we had 40 reported. So for robberies, for 2024, we had 229 reported. For 2025, we had 122 reported. For aggravated assaults, we had 261 reported in 2024. For 2025, we had 187 reported. So total violent crimes or Part 1 crimes, and this is how we list it through the FBI crime reporting system. We had a total of 564 for 2024. Versus 353 for 2025. And so for property crimes, so burglaries for 2024, we had 333. Those are commercial and residential combined. For 2025, 235. For grand larcenies, that's larcenies over a certain dollar amount, 174 versus 154. For motor vehicle thefts, 690 versus 517. And so those totals were 1,197 for 2024. In 2025, there was 906. So at the end of the year, there might have been a few more because this had to be completed by December 21st. So this is December 21st of 2024 to December. This is December 31st of 2024 to December 21st of 2025. So these numbers could be slightly higher based on what occurred that last week or 2 of 2025.
And so those are dramatic declines, right? Like
yeah. And if my eyes are better, I could read. So like calls for service. My eyes are just not good. So Even the cost of service were down as well for the comparable years. And the shot spotter, the gunshot activations were down as well. Let me see if I could. So, Jesus Christ, I just can't see. So for 2024, the number of incidents for 2024 was 687 versus 563. Those are the number of incidents of shots being fired, whether reported by an individual or by our shot spotter detection. And the number of rounds. So for 2024, 2,792, and for 2025, 1,887. So that's our shot spotter numbers.
And what do you attribute these decreases to? Do you have any idea?
Well, our police officers, the great work that they do in the police department, our investigators, our community engagement, our partnerships with the state, local, and federal authorities to smartly police and go after targeted individuals. Our community engagement, I think, plays a big part in this. And some of the technologies that we use to, like I just mentioned, ShotSpotter and our resource router and different things like that. And at the end of the day, we try to police more smart now and not be as reactionary, but more proactive and identify certain individuals or certain locations that we need to target. And we did that working with the federal authorities. We took down individuals who I think were causing a lot of crime. And one of the things too, especially as it relates to gun violence, in 2023, the mayor and I were on this panel, we were on this committee, I would say, with the mayors and chiefs from Hartford, New Haven, Waterbury, and we really looked at some legislation to target individuals who are felons who have guns or individuals who are on probation who have guns. So the bond system has been much more stringent in being able to hold those individuals and keep them locked up while they're pre-trial. So things like that, I think, all contribute to our successes. And it's not just Bridgeport, right? So I don't want to say that, and there's always a little bit of luck as well in this too. So I don't want to, as well as we could do now, we could do bad in the next couple of weeks. And again, ultimately, I say all the time, no matter what our stats show, it's more importantly how people feel. And I do think you start to see people feel better in Bridgeport and more comfortable coming around Bridgeport. Even when we have incidents, right? That's why it's important to highlight the incident we had this past weekend was specific to a location and individuals attend an event. But, I go out and about every weekend and, I go to events, I'm downtown and people are coming out and participating in going to different events in Bridgeport. But again, I also really want to highlight, so, we're doing well, but it's not exclusive to Bridgeport. Crime is trending down throughout the state, as well as nationally as well. So, and I think, part of what we're doing is we're all collaborating, whether it be Bridgeport, Hartford, New Haven, Trumbull, Fairfield, and even on a national level, when I go to these conferences and the mayor and I go to that mayor's chief conference, we all talk about ways to improve. And so, I mean, the goal is to not rest on this. And I want to stop talking about these stats in the next week or so and just focus on what we're doing for 2026. And hopefully we can get better.
Thanks, Chief.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, Chief, you noted that crime, the trends are down statewide, but it should be noted that Bridgeport numbers are actually down a sharper decline than the statewide figures.
Yeah, and Commissioner Roach, this is just year to year. If we did a 5 or 10 year comparison, you'd see even significantly lower numbers. And keep in mind, we've been working with fewer police officers, and I don't want that to be any indicator that we don't need as many cops, because we still need more cops. But I just think it's smart policing and using these different technologies. And
our compliments to you and the men and women of the department.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the chief? Okay, thank you, Chief.
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
Bye now.
You too.
Do we have someone from the union here? Union report?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, there we go. Okay, the floor is yours, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you. Everything sounds great. Crime's down. It is down nationally. Um, academy classes graduating. Chiefs doing this and that. What I've been coming out to the public, the city officials, trying to get you guys more involved on what's going on. The inside of the building is an absolute disaster. Morale is down. People are being retaliated against. You saw a letter that Chief Porter wrote to the FBI about myself and Pabon, the head of the Guardians. False letter. Nothing's been done about it. You know, something needs to be done with Chief Porter and his actions. There's, like I said, 20 plus CHROs, more are coming. It's just a disaster. And, I have a big email chain that I can send some of you guys. We need someone to step in and help us. It's out of control. So, and I know I spoke about this last time. So I don't know if there's anything that you guys can do, but someone needs to step in and handle this. It's an illusion. It's a magician. You hold the cup in one hand and you're focused on that, and then you pull a ball out from somewhere else, and that's all this is. I don't want you guys to be fooled by it. Everything is documented that we have from tons of officers that are that don't want to come to work anymore. People are leaving. Like I said, you lost Greg, you lost some patrolmen, and I'm in the loop with a lot of people, and they're leaving because of the conditions, and that's factual. And like I said, we have everything documented. There's probably 300 pages of stuff.
Any questions to the union president?
Hmm.
Any comments?
Would you like to share some of those emails so that we have a better idea of what's going on? And I know that you're mentioning that there's stuff going on in the department, but we need to see what's that stuff that is going on. So like that we have a better understanding on what it actually is. On a case by case basis, if possible.
Absolutely, and just it's disturbing. So when you see it, you're gonna be taken back and say, "Wow." So, but yes, I can get you guys stuff. We just had another guy wrongfully demoted and suspended. Commissioner Roach, I think you're aware of that.
Yeah, I actually had a conversation on this earlier today, and the question was the demotion took place because of an incident that had taken place before the officer became a sergeant. And that seems to be a question as to whether that's proper or not to demote somebody for an incident that took place before the promotion took place.
Yeah, and like I said, Chief Porter's not governed. He could just do whatever he wants. This is why we're all being affected. If you're not a part of the little circle, then you're an outcast and you don't get anything.
To Commissioner Martinez's request, if you can forward the board and maybe some specifics, and you can start with the demotion that is being claimed was improper. That could be helpful.
Yeah, I sent an email. I think I CC'd you on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can compile some stuff together
Okay.
and get it out to you guys.
Please.
You're gonna be shocked.
You can get a list of the commissioner's email addresses from the department clerk.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments?
I have
For
a
the union?
question. I have one
Yes.
question. You said they reported you and another guy to the FBI?
Yeah, it was around the time that we were doing a vote of no confidence, which is a union protected right. Chief Porter wrote a letter to the FBI that was all false accusations. He claimed that there was coercion and things like that with city officials. Doesn't name any of the city officials. It's just it was a disgusting letter. I guess when the FBI contacted him, he didn't want to take, didn't want to have anything to do with it. But yeah, we were victims of that.
Could you
City.
send us a letter of that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually I had it published through the press to show what's going on here, but I could compile a bunch of stuff for you guys. You'll be shocked. You really will. But I think you guys need to be more in the loop, and maybe you can help us out, because we need it.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks very much.
Yep.
Okay, moving on, Internal Affairs, Lieutenant Rosen, I believe, yep, there he is.
Yes, sir.
Okay, unless you get into anything specific that would require us to go in executive session, if you want to give a report, and if you touch on anything in that direction, let us know, and we can move in executive session. But
yeah, I think we'll be good with public session. It's just
All right.
the 2025 annual reports that time of year.
Yep.
So we're now into 2026. Just touch on a couple stats, numbers, and then some future goals moving into 2026. This report, it was emailed to all the commissioners as well as the mayor and the chief of staff per our policy. So feel free to go through it. And if there's any questions after you read it, you could email me, call me at any time, and we'll go through it. But I just want to at least brief you guys on some of the numbers. So for the year 2025, we had 284 total investigations initiated by Internal Affairs. 123 of those were formal citizens' complaints, which are governed under the Board of Police Commissioners. That is a 33%, about a 20% increase from 2024. So we are up drastically in that sense. We had 96 last year. 33% of those investigations have to do with basic, what we call police misconduct. It is a broad category, but it's just a courtesy and professionalism to the public. So a lot of them, obviously, we want officers professional on all calls for service. However, it is more of a minor violation compared to some of the others. As far as the citizens' complaints, so we had 113,000 calls for service last year, and we generated 123 citizens' complaints. So it's one citizen's complaint for every 921 calls. So the officers are going out there. They're doing an excellent job on a daily basis. And what I will say, some of the citizens' complaint this year, we are up to that 123 mark, but we did have quite a few frequent flyers where we had a few individuals who filed multiple citizens' complaints. So we are addressing those accordingly. Another reason we saw that increase into overall investigations, which we are up 28.1% in overall investigations, is the background investigations. We did police background, but what was different this year is we did the fire department again. We picked them back up. So we got a nice class together for Chief Lance Edwards as well as class 48, which, like the chief said, is graduating on this Thursday. We also did public safety telecommunicator backgrounds, deputy director of public safety, and we're currently working on the director of public safety as well right now. We're working through those. As far as Barrows disciplinary hearings in 2025, we had 8. We had 2 second steps and a total of 11 members of service were investigated by internal affairs that went to the chief for recommended policy violations as well. And we do have 2 pending barrows, which is 24I-189 and 25I-204. So those, I believe, were scheduled out for the next month or so. As far as anticipating backgrounds this year, I spoke with Civil Service, and I know I believe it's Commissioner Roach who asked about it. I spoke with them a couple days ago. So we are gearing up for firefighter now. And then when we complete those, the civil service process for entry-level police officer will be complete. So those should get to us likely in May, June, the latest. And as the chief says, I think we're pretty confident we could have another academy class, which would be number 49 in the fall of 2026. And then following that, we'll do another set of the fire department. On page 6 of the report, there's all the bar graphs and the statistical numbers they go all the way back from 2019 to 2025. So it's very transparent. You can see where the numbers are, everything from citizens complaint, chief's investigations, and to completed investigations. So sergeants down here, the detective down here, they're working really hard day in and day out. They closed out, 228 overall investigations this year, in comparison to 203 last year. There were some fairly serious investigations we did handle this year. Other than that, we are still short-staffed, based on historic benchmarks. We are looking to hopefully grab another 2 investigators. One vulnerability we have right now is we don't have a Spanish-speaking investigator. So to bring in a Spanish speaker when we have someone who predominantly speaks Spanish, for whether it's witnesses, victims, subjects, it is relatively a priority. And I did have some conversations with Chief Porter, the administration, and Commissioner Roach, but it's something we should probably consider as we move into 2026. Other than that, just future goals. Patrol monitoring, that was a goal from 2024 into 2025. We did a couple sessions of patrol monitoring, just going out there, just taking proactive measures to prevent any complaints, investigations, ensure that the officers are doing a good job, and they are day in, day out. They're doing an excellent job. Other than that, that's basically all I have. You have the complete 2025 annual report. If you go through it and there's any questions, I'm always available for all you guys. And I just want to conclude, just thank you for, your support and everything you do for us, the community and police department.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lieutenant. Do you have anybody in mind, or anybody a member of the department, one of the sergeants that made bilingual that may have showed interest in?
Yeah, there's definitely a few. We have a few sergeants who reached out periodically, showed their interest, one of which is Spanish speaking. And I could certainly give you his name and info offline if you wish.
Okay. Thanks. And one other thing that I have, if you wouldn't mind, could you just do a little research at what just came up with, we just discussed that particular demotion, and whether or not it was permissible or not to demote somebody who was who made sergeant after the fact. Could you look into that, please, and get back to us with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I could do an inquiry into it and do a little research. And
okay, that would be appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anybody else have any questions for the lieutenant? All right, great. Lieutenant, thanks very much.
Absolutely. And again, if anything comes up, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be happy to speak with each and every one.
Yep. Always been accessible.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Thanks, Lieutenant.
Okay. We can move on to the clerk's report.
Hello, commissioners, again. It's just to reschedule. Once again, we had last meeting, I believe it is, that we scheduled 2 Barrows hearings for February 2nd. One of the officers will be out of state though and has a conflict. So both the city attorney and the labor attorney and the union attorney are available February 3rd if you guys are available on the Tuesday following the original scheduled day, and wish to reschedule it then or at a later date.
Are we going to have four commissioners available for Tuesday, February 3rd?
I can make it.
I can make it.
I'll make it.
Okay, sounds like we'll have a quorum. We'll keep everybody to that. Let's go with the following day, Tuesday, February 3rd then, Lieutenant.
Perfect. I'll send out another agenda and make that happen.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Anything else, Lieutenant?
No, sir, that is it.
Okay, we're going to move on. A request from Natasha Walker to address the board regarding the removal of her approved handicap sign due to a fire hydrant. Ms. Walker is with us, and commissioners, this has to do with a request for handicap sign that the board approved back in September for 292 Remington. And after it was installed, evidently it was determined that it was too close. The parking spot that was reserved was too close to the fire hydrant that was there. So Ms. Walker is asked to address the board. So Ms. Walker, thank you for being with us. Can you hear us clearly enough?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. All right. So the floor is yours, ma'am.
Okay. So 11/26/11, I was hit by a drunk driver crossing the street. It was a hit and run. He basically left me there. You can also Google that too because it's on Google. I was in critical condition, but I'm getting better now. I'm walking with a cane and I have metal all throughout my body. I had to learn how to walk, talk, and do everything independently again. And as I'm trying to still get back into society, it's hard for me. My PTSD with crossing the street is very bad. So that's why I wanted to request the handicap pole to be in front of my house. So that way I don't have to cross the street and I can feel safe going to and from my house. When they did put it in, I called the Health and Social Services people. I let them know about the fire hydrant. I told them, could you just move up, make sure it's not a situation where because I have gotten the ticket the first time. I paid the ticket because I didn't have a pole at that point in time. So when I did apply for it, I called them and I let them know that the fire hydrant was right there. The day of which was October 27th, they came and put the pole down and I was here. So I told them, isn't that too close to the fire hydrant that the pole, because I might get a ticket. The man said, and I quote, "This is where they marked it. This is where I'm going to put it." I said, okay, fine. I'm not going to argue with you. And I allowed him to do it. And then January 2nd, that's when I got this ticket, the second ticket. And I fought that ticket, and I went to Richard Mancini, and he helped me with that. We got that solved. But when I called, what's his name? When I called Nick Alamo Services, they were actually at my house when I was at a doctor's appointment. So he took the pole. So I didn't have a pole anymore. So when I went to go pay for the ticket, he said he was going to come and get the ticket, never came and got the ticket. That's why I went to Richard Mancini, and he figured he got the ticket situated for me. So I'm basically trying to see if I'm able to get the pole back due to the fact that my grass is right there where they can put the pole in. It's not my neighbor's grass. That's actually my grass that I have to cut. I sent Lieutenant Lyons pictures as far as where my grass is and where the pole can be. As if you see the pictures, you can see my son in the window turning on the light, the outside light, so that way I can take the picture of it because I have to go to work at 5 o'clock in the morning, and it was nighttime. Well, daytime, nighttime. But if you look in the emails of Lieutenant Lyons, it shows that my son is in the window, and that's my light and that's my grass. So I was just trying to be accepted to get the handicap pole again.
Commissioners, any questions?
Am I understanding that it could be moved down just a bit and still be in front of your property? Can
Yes,
that be stipulated when we ask engineering to do it? Is that something that we can ask them, Dan? I'm not sure.
Yeah, and
'Cause
I'm
I know
not
they do the
100%
address.
sure. The standard rule is it would be in front of the applicant's address and not a neighbor's. But if it's possible to make an exception here, I think we should. And Ms. Walker, if it was determined that it would have to be moved possibly next door, I'm assuming that that's something you'd be okay with?
yes, as long as I can't, cross the street.
As long as
I'm
it's not
terrified,
across the
yes.
street, absolutely.
Yes,
I
I'm so
understand that.
terrified to cross the street now, but and
Okay.
as you can see, I walk with a cane, so
Oh.
my PTSD really gets bad when I have to cross the street.
Now,
So that's all
Oh.
I'm saying.
Dan, I understand that the parking signs are not directly for the person in itself. It's just a handicap parking for any handicapped person that needs to park
No,
there.
I understand that.
All right,
I
as long as
understand.
you understand that that's not, and that it doesn't become a neighbor thing.
Yes,
It's
no,
a
no.
handicap
I
spot for anyone
understand.
in the neighborhood who needs it. Happens to be that you need it right now.
Understandable.
I don't know how we would word it, Dan, but I'm agreeable also.
I think if we can forward a request through Lieutenant Lyons to the city traffic engineer to accommodate this young lady, I hopefully we'll be able to resolve the situation. And there's the sign. Has the sign been taken down yet?
Yes, it's
It
been
has
taken
been.
down.
Okay, all right.
Mhm.
So we'll try to work on it to get this resolved as soon as we can.
Commissioner Roach,
Yes, Commissioner
Can-
Williams.
can we actually ask for the reason of the removal before we request it to be put back up?
Well,
And then I
the re-
understand,
Yeah, you
I
understand the reason.
understand, I understand that, but we do not have that.
Oh, they told me the reason was because it would be in front of somebody else's yard, but technically my grass that's where they thought it was somebody else's grass, but that grass is my grass. That's why I sent the email to Lieutenant Lyons to show that that's my grass that I have to cut.
No, I'm not disputing what you received. What I'm stating is that we have not been notified of anything. So I'm requesting that we be notified of their reason for removal. And if in fact that is the reason, then we can take actions based upon that. Because again, as Commissioner Hennis has stated that those signs are not specifically for the individuals. So we just want to make sure that, because I keep hearing you say your grass. So even if it is on your grass, it's technically the public. It's a
yeah, no,
public
I
handicap
understand
sign.
that. I understand the public handicap sign. It's just when Nick Alamo said specifically that he couldn't put the sign back up because it's not my grass. And that's where the conflict of the grass came in, because that is my grass. So that's where that conflict came
that's why
about.
that's why I'm requesting that we receive information from
Okay.
so that we can move forward with this request. So if that's what he's stating, then we know how to move forward. But if there's a different reason, then we also need to address that as well.
Yeah, Lieutenant Lyons, do you have any email communication that you can forward to us that you haven't already?
Commissioners, I did under what's titled 292 Remington, which is her address, Miss Walker's address. The first page is an email conversation from Nick Alamo from Lines and Signs, who Miss Walker stated she spoke to, and then also Powell. I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name from the traffic engineer's office, where it does state that the fire hydrant, Nick Alamo's email states, due to the fact that there is a fire hydrant, the handicap sign has to be installed 30 feet, but we cannot install it because it'll be in front of someone else's property. As we already spoke, normally we don't do that because we don't want to take parking away from other people for their own homes. And then Powell confirmed that he missed how close the fire hydrant was to where the limited frontage is what he's saying. And then that's when I spoke to Miss Walker, who then spoke about saying that there's more frontage than what they might be realizing.
We want to go by the way up.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Martinez?
Oh, no, I was just saying that I'm right up the street, so I like to drive by and see what it looks like, you know.
And frankly, I tried to bring it up on Google Maps earlier today, and it kept on directing me to the alley behind your property.
Her front side of the property is blurred out as well. I did try as well.
No, exactly. Yep. But I think we have an idea of what the situation is. But you're gonna reach out to the city traffic engineer, Lieutenant, please, and see if it's feasible to if there's enough real estate there, so to speak, to put the sign in front of Miss Walker's residence. And if not, let's see what we can do to get it next door. And just out of curiosity, Ms. Walker, your next door neighbor, would that be a person that would be agreeable to something like this, or do you think you'd have an issue with her?
No, I think it'll be agreeable.
Okay.
I just moved over here, but everybody's over here is very nice and we get along
All
very
right,
well.
that just makes it a little bit easier to get it done.
Excellent.
Okay, all right. Anything else? Well, Ms. Walker, happy to hear you're making progress, and hope that continues. And meanwhile, we'll try to do what we can to resolve the situation for you. Okay.
I appreciate it. You guys are great. You guys all have a great night.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. We're going to move on. Old business correspondence, letters of appreciation, and widow's pension. We have nothing for this evening, so we'll go to the traffic report from the city traffic engineer. There's quite a number of recommendations under 8A on the agenda. The first 5 are handicap parking signs that have been approved. There is a removal of a handicap parking sign on 44 Garfield Avenue. It was determined that the applicant does not reside there anymore. Also, we have various no parking here to corner signs and such intersection warning signs. Wayne Street at Merritt, Wayne at Queen Street. We did have an installation of one-way signs at 45 Gregory Street is one of the requests. And that is, it's already a one-way street, but this was the middle of the block, and there is a church parking lot. And when folks exit the church, sometimes they don't realize it's a one-way street. They might turn down the wrong way. So that's just adding an extra one-way sign on Gregory Street. We're not changing anything with the traffic pattern. So I would suggest, unless there's anybody has any questions or comments, we can entertain a motion to combine all those items under 8A and approve the city traffic engineer's recommendation. Is that fair enough? Okay, and that's been moved by Commissioner Diaz. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Martinez, I believe.
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Those have been approved. Moving on, 8B, the first item is request by the city traffic engineer not to approve a installation of a handicap parking sign at 727 Arctic Street because there is off-street parking available. The applicant, I believe, unless I'm mistaken, had said that they were not allowed to park off street, and I tried looking 727 Arctic Street up, and I found, you know, the corner that it was on. The house has handicap ramp in front of it. It's a single family house. I didn't even notice off-street parking at all, except a parking lot in the back, which I don't, it didn't look like that was part of the property. So, if parking is not permitted, if there's a landlord involved to confirm that, I didn't see anything there either. And unless I missed something, Lieutenant Lyons, but that's how I read it anyway.
I can most definitely reach out to get some landlord letter or something for you guys.
Okay, but the recommendation is to deny it, even though the applicant is claiming that there's no off-street parking. If it's available, the applicant isn't allowed to use it. So, any other questions or comments, or can we entertain a motion to table this item until we get more information?
I think move that we table it.
Commissioner Farrell moves to table. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Ferguson. All those in favor? Are there any opposed? Okay, that item is tabled. The next item is a request for the installation of multi-way stop control at Kevin Road and Foligno Drive intersection. The research done on that by the city traffic engineer showed that there was no accidents recording in that intersection. And if you go back to what we just approved for that same intersection, would be the installation of no parking within 25 feet of the intersection. So although the city traffic engineer recommends denial for the stop sign request, he did in fact requested, which we just approved, the 25-foot signs. No parking here to corner signs, excuse me. Are we good with that? I'm sorry, Commissioner Lyons?
Yeah. Being a neighbor of that vicinity, I will say that the stretch Foligno Drive is better than a quarter mile long with no stops from Eckert Street to Old Town Road. The intersection of Kevin Road, I understand, has had no or very few accidents. That is a heavy student rental area. The constant complaints of speeding up and down Foligno Drive to get from Eckert Street to Old Town Road, which connects you to main thoroughs of Main Street and Park Avenue, I hear a lot. That would slow traffic down considerably, that stop sign. I think maybe they put a speed meter on Foligno in particular in that area to track the speeding of vehicles. Again, virtually every house on Foligno Drive, being that it's in a dominant Sacred Heart area, the students just take off and run. Again, I'm surprised there's been no accidents since, but that might be a recommendation to possibly table this. I would make a motion to table this until a speed meter was put on Foligno Drive to mark those the traffic.
All right, there's a motion to table. It's been seconded. No discussion on a motion to table. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that item is tabled as well. Do we have anything else before we adjourn? Folks are the graduating class, the event on Thursday evening. Hopefully, some of the commissioners will be able to to attend that. I had the opportunity, pretty much a surprise visit to the academy a couple days back. I had a cancellation of my schedule, and it was something that I kind of wanted to do. I usually get a chance to go down and pay a visit during each class that we have down at the academy. And I came across some real solid recruits, and I was impressed by overall by the class, and they seem to be ready, willing, and able to start their new career. So it was I left with a pretty good feeling, and I'll be going down to UB on Thursday. What time does that start again, Lieutenant?
6 o'clock.
It's
6 o'clock, the
start.
doors open at 5, yes.
Gotcha. Okay. So, and I don't, some of the commissioners have gone before. It's usually a very nice event, families and stuff, and you come away with a good feeling, almost guaranteed. So, just wanted to mention that. Does anybody else have anything?
I'm
Yes,
sorry.
Commissioner Williams.
I do. The reason why I was asking, because if you look at the picture that was sent to us, it doesn't, on the Remington, I'm sorry. The reason why I'm requesting additional information, that pole was not in front of her house. It was away, like a little ways up the road from her house. So that's why I'm requesting it. I know they say 30 feet, and I think that's the reason, but not because it can't go on someone else's grass. So if you look at the picture, it's not directly in front of her house where they placed it. So that's why I was asking for additional information.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, hopefully we can straighten it out. Anything else, folks?
The meeting on February 3rd, what time is it? 6 o'clock?
It's 6 p.m. every
6
meeting,
p.m.
and occasionally we have a special meeting in the afternoon when we just need to move something quickly.
All right.
But yeah, it would be 6 p.m. and that would be in person.
And do we tell anybody that I will go on Thursday, 6 o'clock? Do we sit?
Oh, this is no. It's I think it's general seating. The front. They reserve for family members, and we can check and see if there's any. There might be some spots set aside for the commissioners, but.
All right.
I'm sorry. What I thought you were asking about the Barrows meeting.
That's 6 o'clock, but 6 o'clock at Bridgeport University.
Yeah, the building is on Ironston Avenue.
Yep.
There's a very, good size auditorium that they've had it the last couple of times. Okay, great.
Perfect. Thank you.
Anything else, folks? Okay. And Dasha Spell, thank you for joining us this evening. If you're there, appreciate that. And I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
All right.
It's been made by Commissioner Ferguson.
For having me. Have a good night.
Thank you for being with us. Appreciate it. Seconded by Commissioner Williams. All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed?
Bye.
Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you, guys.
Take care, guys.
Good night.
Bye now.
Take
See
care.
somebody on Thursday. Bye.